All right, welcome back everybody. This is another episode of our leveling series. We are going to start off with some bleak, or at least an attempt at some bleak. We're going to see if this is still active over here on flies. There's a couple of different bleak orders. We tried this the other day and it was pretty slow, but because there being two bleak orders, it seems like it's worth it to at least give it a little try. There's also a bleak order at winding. We can do that one pretty quick as well. It was 83.88. This is it. Okay. I kind of want to try like this. All right, so we're going to go smallest hooks with fly here. I don't know about that close, but we do want it to be pretty close. We'll see if they bite it all this far over compared to a little further to the right. Last time we did get some bites, so we'll see. Anyway, we have just hit level 16 as of the last episode, which means we can go to Quarry, if nothing else, to buy some ingredients so that we can make cottage cheese dough, which allows us to fish for bream, possibly even back here at Mosquito. So we'll kind of see where this episode takes us. I'm not exactly sure that we'll do all of that in the same episode, but maybe. Maybe. Well, this is not sustainable. This is a much more uncomfortable position, but this might be where the bites are. If it's still active at all. I guess as a caveat. We saw some of that last time too. I'm actually starting to think that, okay, there's a bleak. Starting to think this isn't a very good spot anymore though. That happens an awful lot here. A lot of roach on these flies. Okay, there's a bleak. So that was close. Not quite that close, but all right. That's 3. These are some good sized roach, actually. That's probably bleak. Or a frog. Well, this seems to be at least a little bit more consistent spot. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, big boy bleak. That was a very nice one. I'm going to call it there. If we did not get enough for the cafe order, that's okay. We'll go try to do it at winding. That's just too slow. I like bleak spots, but it's got to be a little better than that to be worth it. All right, so that's 20 silver. We'll definitely take that. We'll go ahead and hit that. Other than that, we're good. Go back to winding. All right, so what is this? 5 very small bleak, another 18 silver. We know in this spot we can go back to pearl barley. Small hooks are fine because we're not actually trying to do a extensive farm here. We're just trying to get this cafe order done as quickly as possible. As this just turned into a dace farm, which, you know, there are worse things than a dace farm, of course. All right, there's one. There's 2. 3. Isn't that 3? 1, 2, 3. Four. Five. Look at us soaring over 500 silver before we go soaring back under it. Okay. I can't imagine there's anything that we actually need to take to quarry. 25.9 silver. It hurts, doesn't it? But what's the old adage? You got to spend money to make money. Sometimes you just got to spend money to progress, to be honest. All right. So what we're looking for, let's go ahead and confirm what the situation here is. This whole thing is to make cottage cheese dough, but we need the cottage cheese. We're not going to even make it here because we're not going to buy these other ingredients here. They're probably super expensive, but we can get the cottage cheese. We could also get some cheese if we want to make a few cheese cubes just for fun. Cottage cheese is... So if we make it 10 times, that would be 12 silver, and that's plenty. The rest of the level we'll do pea porridge for. Here's the cheese. If we want to make one thing of cheese, that's fine. Other than that, we're good. We are good. So let's go to the grocery store and just make it one time to confirm that it works, that we've got the right stuff, that we know what we're doing. So it was wheat flour, sugar. You know what, I actually don't remember. Cottage cheese dough. Oh yeah, milk. We've already got it. Okay. There it is. And for the cheese, you just use the cheese. But unfortunately, it uses all 10 portions to make 34. So very expensive bait. I think it's actually cheaper just to buy cheese out of the store, right? I don't know. Okay, do we want to... So 102, 112... They're using size 10 hook. Five. We don't have many of these. What depth are they using? We're just going to check out one spot just for fun real quick. Of course, we can't go to the clip. They're doing an 18 clip. We can't get there. All we can do is, you know, what we can do. We're just going to try to catch one fish like this. 102, 112 or something like that. Now, Quarry Lake, if you haven't ever been here, is an awesome, awesome lake. And we will eventually come back to this beautiful place and we'll troll using spin fishing setups. We'll troll and have a great time. But all right, so it's right here. Let's just max cast it, see what happens. Is that even deep enough right there for, yeah, I think it is. Now that may not be far enough because like I said, they're using an 18-meter clip. I guess technically we could do this. So instead of that, let's do this. Let's do whatever, 14 clips, close enough. Same bait, 18-meter clip. Did I set the clip? Yeah. Now they're catching them on float, so I don't know if feeder's gonna work or not, but we can certainly try it. You kind of see how far 16-meter clip is, and you see how far our float is. So the only way to really do this is if you have bolo or match rod setups. But I was just kind of curious. So what people are catching during the day here is Vindus and roach, basically, on mayfly larvae. It's not going to be the craziest farm ever, but I think one of the New Year's challenges might have been involving Vindus. And if you've got cafe orders and stuff, I guess it could sometimes be worth it. All right, so let's see what we got here on the feeder rod. Yeah, that's it. That's what we're going for. The Vindus. Yeah, so it looks like we're just not able to get the float far enough out. Again, we just have to have a bolo rod or something to be able to do it. So probably not worth our time here. Now that we have cottage cheese dough, maybe we just go back to mosquito. Let's see. What was the first spot? There was a spot I was going to try. Oh, yeah. Looks like we're getting a little something on worm. So let's see. 3.1. So oh, we finally got a bite and we messed it up. Oh, you can actually see down there, can't you? That's cool. Always fun to fish at Quarry when you can. You can sometimes see the fish as they nibble. Couple of Vindus, very nice. So unfortunately, I just don't think, as much as I'd love to be able to fish here at Corey, I don't think we have the gear for it yet. And yeah, I think we just have to enjoy how beautiful it is and then worry about fishing here another time. So we still hadn't even gotten one that was big enough for that order. See how little these are worth. I mean, this is not necessarily a fish you farm for silver. Okay, here we go. Back to mosquito. So we're gonna go to spawn location. We're gonna try a little roach type spot. And then eventually we'll switch over to the bream spot. So we'll just get try a couple things here. Oh yeah, 53 is this way, right? No? Hold on. 5385. Oh. Gotcha. I forget that's actually from here. From the bridge. Okay. So we want to do roach mix. And we really want like 6 size hooks, but we'll try a variety of things. We're doing what, Clint? Tip Clint? 10 clip is what I'm trying to say. Unsuccessfully. Alright, and then this one. Same thing, or as close as we can get to it. Sure. We're not going to be here long anyway. All right, let's get some bites, and I'll be right back. All right, I need to go see where we're going to test the bream out. Ooh, white bream. Man, if this is a roach, it's a nice one. That was a fat roach. All right, bream, we're going to 9784, which is way over here. You'd hate to do that. All right, let's see. So we just need sugar. and a couple of wheat flour just to make a few more for now. Okay. Actually, I think I'll probably want to get one more sugar. Okay, so yeah, eventually we'll make pea porridge to level it, but cottage cheese dough definitely falls into that category of baits that are just so good. It's worth having quite a few of them. Cottage cheese dough, pearl barley, garlic dough, pea porridge. Those are the ones that are just like kind of must have. Clearly we need a smaller hook on this middle rod. You don't want to have that slow a bite rate when you're going for roach. Okay. What size? But we have time to hang out a little longer before we go try to find the bream. Big roach are here, that's for sure. Ten would be nice. Sure. So I guess that nibble went away. We've had one small roach and the others have been pretty good size. Let's see how they're fishing for bream here. It looks like size 4 hook. So what do we have for bream? There's a 4, a 10, a 6. I think I like that. 10, 6, 4. That seems good. I'm a little bit maybe surprised that the bite rate here isn't a little better. Nine minutes, 5 fish. It's a little slower than I thought it would be. I guess the counter argument would be we've been fishing this spot during the slowest part of the day. Although roach a lot of times will persist through the slower times, it seems like, at a decent rate at least sometimes, so I don't know. But even though we've got a little bit of a hike, I really don't want to head to the bream spot till probably about 10 p.m. Maybe 8. We'll start walking that way. So we still have 460 silver, not too bad. If we could catch a few bream, we might get back up to 500. Sorry about that. It was bound to happen. Mute myself, forget to unmute. What have I said in the last minute? So I was guessing how much that roach was going to be worth. It ended up being worth a little more than I thought. I guessed 3 something. It was worth 4 something. And I was just saying that if you really sat there for 24/7, you might be able to do pretty well because of the size of the roach. Just depends on what else might bite during the night and early morning. All right, we're going for 97.84. We've tried this before, haven't we? Okay, 15-meter clip right over these things here. Looks like they're actually facing. It's kind of weird. It looks like they're. How are they doing that? What angle are they at that they are? Yeah, it's kind of like this. I mean, they're almost, according to their compass, it looks like they're facing this way. But it's more like this. I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, it's 15 clip. It's going to be a little farther to the right than I'm expecting, I think. At least how they have it. All right, this is a 10. We actually want to go to the 4 on this one. We do want to go to our bream. I guess one of these days I'll actually cast it far enough to go to where it's supposed to. Actually, I don't want to put a cart hook on here. It could snap, right? Let's just use this one and let's just see how it does. Oh my goodness. What kind of hook is this? That is a cheap hook, to be fair. That's what I deserve, fishing with that kind of hook out here on for bream. Come on now. Okay, there's a marker. All right, there's the first one that's an actual real deal 1 kilo bream. That is beautiful. More of those, please. What would be cool, and I don't know if it would work, but what would be cool is if we could go for, that's a nice bream. If we could go for rough in this same spot, since we don't have a third larger feeder rod set up yet. Might be more efficient to just go for bream on 2 and rough on 1, but unless I try it. I just have no idea if rough are even here. Wow, this is actually doing pretty good. Oh, this is something small though. Okay. So we're at 3 over a kilo. We hit a little bit of a slowdown period here right around midnight. Hopefully it'll stay somewhat steady as we get through the night. Wow. I just knew that was going to be a kilo. Another nice one. I mean, we're using a smaller hook on this one. Let's just try it. So we don't put any ground bait in on this one. We're just going to throw in a regular worm, full cast. Let's just see if the bruff are active in this spot at all. Same clip and everything. A lot of times they are. It wouldn't be the first time that bream and rough overlap a little bit, but it's no guarantee. Small. Small, small, small. I'm going to go a little farther left this time on that cast. I've got to watch what I leave the friction brake on. Just asking for a little disaster here. That's a nice one. This might be a bream, really small bream. It's not a rough. But hey, if we're going to catch small bream, I'd rather catch them on worms and not cottage cheese. So we'll try that again. There it is. Which one is it? Oh, I guess it's this one. It's small. Another nice one. So if we had 3 rods instead of 2 that we could be aggressive on, 4, 5, 6. 6 in a night. Maybe that would be 9, 8 or 9. We still have some time left. That's a white? No. Seems pretty good. It's not as slow as I mean, it's still not great, but I think it's a little better than that last spot we tried at Old Bird. Although we didn't have access to cottage cheese dough at that point, and for a while now, cottage cheese dough seems like it's been the bait of choice. This is another one that's at least a kilo, I think. All right. Almost 2. There's a white bream. I was wondering if they were here. They must just really not like the cottage cheese dough. If we had had like pearl barley or sweet dough or something else in there, maybe we would have seen some throughout the night occasionally on the smaller rod. I don't know. All right, 6 a.m. Catching crucian now. At least it was decent size, I guess. You hope this is crucian, because if it's bream, it's a non-marker. Alright, so we're going to give it one more in-game hour before we wrap this up. Just because so many trophies come in at 7 a.m. I can't cut it off before we at least see that 7 a.m. time come and go. Because of those Bream Cafe orders starting this session off, a few decent Bream here, even though this mostly has sort of been a strange back and forth session, we still have done okay, all things considered. And let's hope one of these fish that's about to hook in now is going to be a good one. A little too small. Okay. Unless something's changed in the last few minutes. I don't think there's a cafe order. I just want to double check that. Plus, I think it's just faster than trying to run all the way around Mosquito. I don't think there's any way that would be worth it. Sit on that spot long enough. Maybe. All right, 7.9 for the biggest bream. Again, they just add up so well. I mean, look at that, 70 silver. And we are way back over 500. That's awesome. Okay. We're not even exactly sure what we're saving for, but we know we need to save. As always, thanks for watching. Tight lines, everybody. I will see you next time.